Hello and welcome to Cracking the Cryptic, and today I'm having a look at an interesting variant that combines sandwich Sudoku and palindrome Sudoku. This has been sent to us by Axel Abrahamson, who's been the author of a couple of puzzles that were really good on the channel before, so high hopes for this one. And you know, yet another puzzle to carry on through the crisis. I hope you enjoy this one. I've set it up so you can try it on the link below. As I say, the rules are that the normal Sudoku rules apply, sandwich Sudoku rules as well. The numbers outside the grid give the sums of the digits between the 1 and the 9 in that row or column. So for instance, in column 9, the numbers between the 1 and the 9 that appear add up to 29. And this question mark shape is a palindrome. So the cells at the two ends will be exactly the same. I think the center of the palindrome is here. Yes, so that doesn't have to match up with anything else, but that cell must be the same as that, for instance. So here we go. Let's have a look at Axel's palindrome sandwich. And it often helps to shade cells that can't be 1s or 9s. So I'm going to start with that. So here, because of the 29 clue, that has to be at least 5 digits in between the 1 and the 9. Same with the 28 clue. 22, there must be, the central one can't be, or there just wouldn't be enough length. Anything over 21 that applies to. Now, down at the bottom, we have got a 9 in a 13 clue. So it could be 8, 5. It obviously couldn't be 8, 2, 3 this side, because there's already a 2 in the row. But if the 13 sum is the other side, it would have to be 3 cells long. So none of the ones I've shaded in green there can be a 1 or a 9. Now, what else can we figure out? This 0 clue means they have to be together in this column. They can't obviously be those two because there's already a 9 in the box. So actually I'm just going to shade the 8 and the 2 green as well for completeness. And this 23 clue as well. This cell is not possibly in the palindrome. And actually we've now got that cells 2 and 3 of the palindrome can't be a 1 or a 9, so I may as well do them up there as well. And that's interesting. In the 23 row, 23 has to be at least 4 cells between the 1 and the 9, and because this one at the end is coloured, this one must be part of the 4 cell run as well. It could be there, or it could even be 5 cells, but that's not a 1 or a 9. Therefore this one isn't, because of this 0 clue as well. And that's quite interesting. Now, one of these two must be one of 1 or 9 because of the 28 clue. And I think we can see that it must be the 1 because there's already a 9 in the box. And that means these aren't 1s or 9s as well, and that includes the last cell of the palindrome, so that one isn't 2. So there is some progress there. Now, with the 22 and 24 clues as well, because they've now had a cell at the end shaded, we can put in another bit of colouring, because they have to be at least 4 cells as well. 8, 7, 6 only adds up to 21, and that's quite interesting. We now know that this cell at the top has to be one end of this 1 or 9 sum. So that is going to be a 1 or a 9. And one of these is going to be a 1 or a 9 because of the 24 clue. So all of these aren't, because there's only 2 in the box. Okay. Now, what else can we see? That one can't be. This has to be, a 28 has to be at least 8, 7, 6, 5. It has to be 5 cells long. So yeah, that can't be. In fact, at the top here, the outies, as it were, for a 28 sum have to add up to 7. And we know that 2 is part of that. So in fact, there must only be one other outside the 1 and the 9, and it's a 5. So that must appear either here with a 1 here, or here with a 9 here. So this cell must be 5 or 9, and this one must be 5 or 1. This one's on the palindrome, so its counterpart here must be 5 or 9 as well. Now, that's interesting, but where can we get further purchase from here? One of these is a 9. I'm just going to put that in the corner. Oops, in the corner, I said. And therefore one of these is a 9 as well. That must be the case because of this 9 and there being 1 up here. Now one of those could be a 1 given the 0 clue as well. And we don't have a clue for the central column. Okay, that's not bad. At least we've got somewhere here. Now we still don't know how this one works. The 23 clue, that has to have 4 digits. This 22 clue can't be any longer than that. So, but this could still be a 1 or a 9, I think. Interestingly, only one of those can be a 1 or a 9. And one of those, but we don't know which way round they go yet. Right, let's see where else we can make some progress. Yes, that's quite interesting. One of these 3 must be a 1 or a 9 to make the sum of 17 work. It obviously can't be those 2 because you couldn't fit 17 between them. The same's true here. One of those 2 must be. And therefore there's one of the 1 and 9 there, one of them there. There can't be a 1 or 9 here. And that means we now know where the 1 goes in this row. It must be there. So we can put in a few more green cells. That one. Now we've either got a 6 as an outie at the top or a 2, 4. What's interesting here though is that one of these is now a 9. And that means this one isn't a 9. That's a 5 on the palindrome. So we can put 5 in there, 9 in there. The 1 can go in. That 28 sum has been used now. That whatever, these other digits now must be 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, which add up to 28. So in fact, this 9 is resolved. That's good. We can put 9 in there. One of these 2 is a 9, but I'm not actually sure. It could still be this one, so I'm not going to fill that in yet. Interesting there. Right, this 9, that has resolved quite a lot of quite a lot of sandwich cells. In fact, the 1 must be here, and that is very helpful. Okay, so that means this is a 9 after all. We can colour a bit more green in there. Now, one of those is a 1, but I still don't know which one. One of these is a 1. Not sure which way round. That one. No, I don't know that for sure. I don't know what the sum in this row is, so apologies. Oh no, I was thinking I did know because they're the white cells remaining, but actually that grey cell could still be a 1 at this point. Right, so what can we do next? Now, how would this work as a 12? If that was a 9, there could be a 1 here or here. Yeah, I don't think that's proving anything. Right, one of these 2 is a 1 because of this 1, and this 1. So the 9 must be over here. Can't be in this cell because of the 9 above. This one we can colour green. The 9 must be in one of these 2 cells in this row. Pretty sure that's right. Yes, that makes these 2 green as well, although we could have done that from having the previous 9 and 1. Now, what else can we learn from that? 1 could be there. In fact, 9 has to be here because 24 has to have at least 4 cells involved. So let's put the 9 in here now. Get rid of the 9 from there. Now there is a 9. Where else can we go? Don't know about the 1 up here yet. Yeah, these are very small clues, the 12 and the 5. We know that there's a 1 or a 9 in one of these 2 cells. I don't quite know how to mark that, but let's put them there. Therefore, there's a 1 or a 9 in one of those 2 cells, but only one of them. How could that be a 9 if that was a 9? And then 1 would be here or here. That's both possible. Not quite sure where I'm going now, but I'm thinking we are narrowing this down. Oh, that one I failed to colour and I should have done. Doesn't really matter all that much. I've used quite a lot of these clues in the 1-9 placing. Oh, this one must be 1 or a 9 because of this 0 clue. It's either got to be that pair or that pair. So that's definitely 1 or a 9. And this 12 clue means that can't be therefore. Okay, this can't be. And we worked out that one of these 2 was 1 or a 9 because there's only 1 in there. So this one is 1 or a 9. Now with the 5 clue, one of these 2 must be, these 2 aren't. With the 12 clue, I'm still not sure which way round they go. This can't be a 9, can it? For what it's worth, because of the 9 in the row, but I'm still just not sure of the identities of 1s and 9s here. This is interesting though. Maybe there's some clue where the actual number involved that I can actually place the digits. This is either 5, 2 or 3 because it's between the 2 1s and 9s. 23 has to be 4 cells at least. That's not very helpful. 29, that has to have a 2, 4 above it. I don't know if that helps. This 24 clue, yeah, the outies have to add up to 11. That's these 3 cells, and they can't have a 5 in, so they must be 2, 3, and 6. So I'll put the 4 in. And then these, what am I doing? These 2 are 3 and 6. One of these is a 5. And I bet it could still be that palindrome cell. And that's interesting. Those 2 would clearly add up to more than 7. So this can't be a 1 or a 9. I can colour that in. 1 is in one of those 2 cells. That's not a 1, therefore. Where do 1 and 9 go in this column? One of them could be here or here. The other one must be here. This must be a 1 or a 9. And because it's on the palindrome with this cell, they must be 1s. Do you see this 7 clue requires one of its 1 or 9 to be there and the other one to be below it. And it's on the palindrome, so if it's 1 or a 9, it has to share the same cell as that, which means that can't be a 9. So we get our 1 in there. This now is a 9. Oops, 9 I say. This can't be a 9 anymore. Did we work out it couldn't be a 1 before? No, not quite. In fact, one of these is 1. This was now green. In fact, both of these are green. And there, because of the 1 there and the 1 there, we now know this is a 1. Okay, so we can colour a few more green, and now we know this 0 clue is 9 and 1 here. So we can put in 9 there. This can't be a 9. Still don't know about this kind of X-wing of 1s and this X-wing of 9s, where they fit in. Maybe we don't need to know that yet. It's quite interesting though. So up here we've got 3, 6, 2, 4, 5, 1, 9. These two must be an 8, 7 pair. In this column, 24 is the clue. So the outies add up to 11. This is 2, 3 or 6. If for the outies to add up to 11 with a 2, 3 or 6, this would have to be 9 or 8. Obviously can't be those, so it must be the 5. And it's a 6 at the top. Now we've got 2 and 3 to put in here. One of them is on the palindrome, that's this one, and that can't be a 2. So that's the 3. Lovely. 2 up there. 3, 6, 2, 9, 1. Yeah, one of those is a 5. Well, it's interesting that I haven't... Oh, this one's a 5 now for the clue. This one adds up to 12. So it's either 5, 7 or 4, 8. And one of those possibilities is ruled out by that. Oh yes, that 5 has resolved this pair of 5s up here. Now, what else have we got? We've got 4, 8 and 7 in those cells. The middle one can't be an 8. We've used that clue, we've used that one. This one we haven't, but I don't know. The outies are 13, and they can't be 8, 5, but they could still be 6, 7. Don't quite know how that one's working yet. Down here, we need 7 between the 1 and the 9. Can't be 5, 2, because 5's already gone in the column. So this could either be 4, 3, 9, or 7, 9. So this is 4 or 7. I'm wondering if there's anything else we can do with the palindrome to help. Oh, what have we got across the bottom? No, this is 3, 4, 7 or 6. No, still not sure there. That's a it's a really well constructed puzzle to be so tricky to come up with an ending to it. Wow. Where am I meant to be looking now? 2, 1, 3, 9, 5. We've used that 5. We've used the 12. We've used the 24. This 19. We haven't used that. 16 outside it. It's quite a variable number. Oh, 13 here. Right. So these two have to add up to 11. So they're 7 and 4, I think. And that is interesting because we've got a 7-4 pair and a 7-8 pair there. So the 7s have all been used from columns 7 and 8, and this must be a 4. Wow. So we can actually fix those 7 pairs. This is now 1, 4, 3, 9. So we can place 9 there. Maybe we can we finish off the 1s? Not perhaps immediately from that. 23 in this row would need 12 outside. That could still be 3 cells or 2 cells. That's irritating. Okay, we've got a 3, 6 pair to finish off the bottom row now. 7, 4, 1. This, oh look, that 3 has resolved the 3, 6 pair up here, and this is a 2 now. And that will help. These outies we said had to add up to 16. That must now, with a 2 in it, that must be 8 and 6. This is 5 and 7, and we can fill them in because of the 7 up here. I love this puzzle. This is so deep. No, not 5 and 7. Let's cancel 5 and 7. I still love the puzzle, but I've used the wrong numbers there. 3 and 5. 5 and 3. There we go. That's better. Stop shouting at the screen. 4, 2, 9, 3, 1. Right, and now the outies in the 17 row add up to 18, and we've got 8 already, so the other two must occupy 2 digits. The 1 goes there, the 1 goes there. They add up to 10. They're not 3, 7, they're not 6, 4, they must be 2, 8. We've got a 6, 4, 7 set there, 5 and 3. This is 4 and 7. Now this 22 clue, its outside numbers or outies add up to 13, so they're 7 and 6 clearly. Excellent. 7 and 6 to go in here, they must be like that. 6, 9, 5. Are there any clues we haven't used? Still not sure about those ones. That's quite interesting. And in this row, 23, the outies add up to 12. It can still be 8 and 4 or 5 and 7. That would have to be 7 or 4, and this one would have to be 5 or 8. Can you believe this puzzle is still resisting? Normally sandwiches fall apart a bit when you get this far through them. But of course it's a palindrome as well, and that might help, and maybe I haven't been paying enough attention to that. So this cell is 4, 7 or 8, and this one is 4, 6 or 7, and it's clearly 4. Pay attention to all the rules, especially when there's a palindrome about. So this one is now 8. Yes, 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 yes. So that's the palindrome completed, and that is obviously going to be key to getting the puzzle done. These are 5 and 7 now as a pair, adding up to 12. 4, 2 and 6 to go in there. Let's leave that for a moment. 2 and 3 to go in here. 4, 8, 7. This must be a 3. That's not 8. In fact, 7 and 4 are resolved. This is 2, 8 and 6 up here. 8 and a 2, 6 pair. 6 and 7 are sorted out. It's just coming now. It's so neatly done. 6 and 2, and that resolves the 6, 2 pair. What a just joyous puzzle. I mean, I really like that. So these are 5, 7 outside now. 4 and 8 to go in there. I think we've used all the sandwich clues as well, and I think we filled in all the cells. What a nice puzzle. That's really good stuff. Thank you very much, Axel. I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope the green shading didn't cloud the question mark palindrome too much in this solve. Really nice. I mean, yet another super puzzle sent to us. And hope you enjoy it. Do stay safe and keep tuning in to keep your brain fresh. I think it's got to help. And you're very welcome to Cracking the Cryptic. See you later. Bye for now.